Welcome again to becomeatechpro.com. We are still looking at web servers, Nginx in particular. In the last session, we were able to set up Nginx for load balancing. If you can see, the IP address we have right now is 172.31.6.34, okay, which is one of the IP addresses I have here, okay. This is for a Tomcat server, okay. So if we go ahead and refresh that page in particular, let's see what we see. So if we refresh the page, you can see it changes to 179. You can see 179. So that's to show the load balancing capability, which is this server. Okay, so the next thing that happens is if we go back here and we refresh one more time, you can see this time around is 59. Okay, so look at it, 59, which is this. Okay, so we can see that requests have been served from different app servers, right? And we can see that these are the Tomcat servers that we've set up, right, in our Nginx configuration file. So how do we see the Nginx configuration file to see what we have set up there, right? These are the corresponding public IP addresses for these private IP addresses. So let's just check it out. Let's see what we've done. Okay, so this is our Nginx server. Okay, so let's clear this. So these are Nginx server. So if I cut that file, okay, we'll see what we have set up right there at the moment. Cut. Let's copy it again. So this is a file. So you can see the IP addresses we have set up here, right? These are the Tomcat IP addresses that we have set up. These are the respective public IP addresses. We could have used the private IP addresses as well, so that whenever we restart our server, we can be sure that we don't need to come here to modify it. Okay, so that is also a possibility. So these are the IP addresses we have set up. So the other things we might want to consider, and for example, let's say a particular server has more capability, right? And let's say we want more traffic routed to this particular server up here, and less traffic routed to these other servers, okay? So this is something we can also set up right here, okay? In this particular file, we can set it up there to make that possible, okay? So right now, we have equal amount of traffic being routed to these different servers, right? We see that the servers are receiving equal amount of traffic. So if we want more traffic to go to a particular server, right? Because they are getting uniform amount of traffic right now. So let's say we want this server, the first server here, right, to get maybe 3 times what each of these other servers are getting, right? So it's something we can also set up, okay? So what we'll do in that light is to come here, let's go to the file, okay? Let's VI into the file, okay? Since it's a root, file is in the root folder, so I need sudo vi, okay? Then I go into the file. So I'm here in the file, I to insert, I go to the line I want. Let's say I want this particular server to receive 3 times the traffic, because by default, the wait for each server is 1, right? So all I need to do is to go to that line, which I want to get to receive 3 times, okay, 3 times the amount of service. Okay, so I need to specify the weight as 3. Okay, so since I want this to receive 3 times the amount of traffic compared to the other servers. Okay, so I want to set this up as 3. So once I do that, I can escape column WQ. So I've saved the file. Okay, so after saving this file, I need to restart the Nginx service. Okay, so to restart the Nginx service, I run sudo systemctl restart Nginx, right? I want to restart Nginx. Okay, I want to restart the Nginx service. So now that I've done this, let's go back to the browser. Okay, so let's try to identify which, okay, so 84, this particular one was what we modified, okay, and that's the one ending in 179. We want it to receive 3 times the traffic than others, right? So let's see how that will work for us. Okay, so we come here and let's refresh. That's 179. So this is the first time we are refreshing. We got it 1 time. We refresh again. 59 comes up. Refresh again. 179. 179. 34 comes up now, right? We've seen 3 times of 179. This ones, okay. So let's see. 179 comes up again. 59. 179. Can see 179. Once 34 now. Can see 179 is featuring more times. 59. 179. Unlike the other time where we had it just switching from one number to the other number, right? But right now we see 179 is featuring more times, right? 179 is featuring more times. So this is because of the weight we've set, right? So we've been able to load balance, right? And set a server weight so that more traffic will go to a particular server than the others, right? So that is something that we could do, okay? Another situation could be that we might want to set up a backup server so that nothing gets routed to that backup server except where other servers are down, right? When other servers are down, that's the only time service will go to a particular server, right? So that is also a possibility. So we looked at how we can use the weights, right, to set up our load balancing such that traffic can go to a particular server more than the others, okay? So we also want to look at how we can use backup, right? We want to use backup to ensure that it is only when other servers are down that service will go to a particular server, okay? So that is also something that is possible. So we want to go ahead and look at how we can make that happen. Okay, so let's go back to the file. Okay, so this is the file. So we want to remove this weight criterion. So take out the weight, for example, and this time around, we could use the same server, right? And set this as a backup, right? Since all the traffic were getting routed to this particular server before now, more traffic were getting routed. Let's still use the same server, right? As backup, right? Let's say we choose the server for backup, right? So all we need to specify is to update the line with the backup keyword, okay? To introduce this to the mix, okay? Backup. So what it means is that we do not want traffic to get routed to this server. Rather, traffic should get routed to this and this, right? Except where there is failure, right? Where there's failure in the other servers, that is when I expect service to go to this server, okay? So let's see what we get out of that and see whether we'll get traffic just to these two servers, okay? So I've modified the file, escape, colon, WQ, I have the file saved. Now the next thing I want to do is to restart the Nginx service, okay? So I've restarted the Nginx service, okay? Hopefully I don't have anything in the cache, right? Otherwise, I'll go to another browser. See, I've refreshed the first time. So the server we backed up, we set as backup, is this server ending in 179, the same old server, right? So let's see whether after refreshing several times, that will come up. I don't expect it to come up. If it does, we need to use a different browser. Could be because of cache, you can see. And let's say 59, 34, 59, 34, you can see 59, 34. So it's gone back to the initial configuration of this server serves, the next server serves, this server serves, the next server serves. Okay, so you can see 179 is not providing any service because it has been set as backup. So it's only expected to kick in when other servers are down, right? So let's see what happens, right? So another option for us, right? If you look at this now, we've been able to set weight, right? So that a server supplies more times than the others. We've also been able to set backup so that a server can only work as backup, can only get activated when other servers are down, right? Right now, since we've set it as backup, nothing is coming up, right? Except other servers are down. Okay, so it means we can also set it up such that other servers could go down, right? We could set it up such that other servers could go down, okay? So if we want other servers to go down, all we need to do is to go back to the same file, configuration file, and modify the file, okay? So we can modify the file, okay? This is the file. So we are back into the file, right? Remember, we've set this file as, we've set the first server as backup, right? Let's say we want this last server that is down here to go down, okay? So because we want it to go down, we need the down keyword, okay? So I to insert. So let me go in there and set it as down, okay? So when we set this as down, so what it means is that this one is a backup, right? It will only kick up when every other one is down, okay? This one has been set down. It means we only have one that will be active, right? So, which is this one in between, right? The one ending in 106. Let's confirm the, okay, this one ending in 106 is the only one that is up. This first one has been set as backup. This last one has been set as this last one has been set as down, right? So it means this is the only one that is up, the one ending in .34 in terms of the private IP address, okay? So if we go back to the server, if we go back to our file, okay? So now that we know what we want, okay? We've only set this one as active, right? So we can save this file, okay? We can save the file and restart Nginx, right? So we restarted the server. So we only expect the one with ending in 34 to be up, right? So if we come back here and we refresh this page, okay? So this one is 34. This is the only one we expect to be up. So we refresh it, it's still 34, right? We refresh it, it's still 34. We refresh it, it's still 34, right? Just this, right? Because this is the only server that is up, right? One is down, the other one is set as backup. Now, how does backup really kick in? This is a way to understand it, right? We've seen the one for wait, we've seen the one for backup, one part, right? We've also seen down, right? But when the backup gets activated, right? The backup will only get activated when others are down, right? So let's test that out to see how to get that to work, okay? Okay, so if we go back to the file, okay, what if we decide to set this other one to as down, right? The one in the middle. If we set this one in as down, right? Down, then the condition for the first one picking up, right? It's just back up right now. The condition for this one picking up, the one ending in 64, right? That's the one with IP address, private IP address ending in 179. Picking up is now a possibility because others have been set as down, okay? So we come here, this is down, and this is backup. So this backup was not active before now because every other one was active. So now that we have everything is down, we want this backup to kick to play, right? So let's save this file, escape colon WQ. Okay, so what we want to do now is to restart the Nginx service, right? So now we've restarted the Nginx service. So if we go back to the browser, okay, right now you see 34 was the active one, but it has been set as down, right? So the only one, right? The only one that might come to our rescue now is this 179 because it was set as backup, right? It was set as backup. Let's see what happens when we refresh the page. Okay. So if we refresh this page now, you can see 179 that was set as backup is now the active server. Okay. So this is how we do load balancing with Nginx. So thank you for your time. Hope to see you in the next session. Bye for now.